Warm welcome and good morning to all my dears. We had completed the basic of chronic complication of diabetes. As you know, due to the chronicity of diabetes, it affects basically the blood vessels and thereby you can see there is increased heterogeneity and formation of abnormal blood vessels and arteriolar calcifications. Along with that, there is increased platelet aggregation, decreased RBC, and decreased fibrinolytic properties also can be seen. All these change finally affects the capillary venular network or arteriolar capillary networks, and thereby that causes some defect or damage in our nervous system or the neurons or the nerve cells, and such condition is known as neuropathy. So let us see what are the causes of neuropathy other than diabetes. Near about 60 to 70% of neuropathies are due to diabetes, but more than that, due to high cholesterol level in blood or in condition of dyslipidemia, mechanical injuries or local compressions caused by metabolic disorders, as in case of carpal tunnel syndrome or in hypothyroidism. So myxomatous deposition or compression of the nerves, and the diagnosis may be usually made as carpal tunnel syndrome. Then our lifestyle issues. This is one of the most important cause other than diabetes, that is due to chronic or continuous smoking or chronic alcoholism, and conditions like avitaminosis, especially vitamin deficiency with vitamin B12 can also leads to neuropathy. But today we are going to deal the neuropathy especially with diabetes, that is diabetic neuropathy. It is nothing but a type of nerve damage that can occur with a chronic, unnoticed or maltreated or uncontrolled diabetes. And this condition most often affects the legs and extremities. As we mentioned earlier, about 60 to 70% of the people with diabetes have mild to severe form of damage of the nervous system, and up to 70% of people with diabetes will experience nerve damage in their lifetime. Thereby, diabetic neuropathy contributes to a diminished quality of life also. At its worst condition, diabetic neuropathy is a major contributing factor to cause lower limb amputation. So, diabetic neuropathy is a very serious and common complication of type 1 and type 2 diabetes. The condition usually develops very slowly, even though there may be symptoms. As we mentioned in other conditions, the symptoms are very mild or trivial or subclinical or non-specific also. Sometimes the same pathology may continue over the course of several decades also. So it's a very serious and long-term complication of diabetes. So we have to understand what actually it is, and we should know the real mechanism of diabetic neuropathy. Let us see who are the persons with a high risk with diabetic neuropathy. Personalities with diabetes, those who have had the diabetes for at least more than 15 to 25 years, and along with that, those who have had poor glucose control are at greatest risk of developing the symptom of diabetes. As we mentioned in our earlier class, even though your patient may be a diabetic, he is not necessary to have the production of symptoms. Usually the symptoms of polyuria or polyphagia or polydipsia may arise, or the symptom of diabetic ketoacidosis, or the symptom of diabetic hypoglycemia, etc. may develop only at the end or only in the very severe condition of. So usually the symptoms are masked, or the symptoms are, as we mentioned earlier, the symptoms are very, very subclinical. So keep it in mind very seriously. Whatever may be the type or classification of diabetic neuropathy, generally the symptoms include, as we mentioned in our drug sulfur, arsenic, albumin, phosphorus, the trio burning remedy. Here you can see the severe burning or throbbing or tingling pain or numbness in the extremities, especially in the legs. That means if our patient is having the symptom of burning, throbbing or numbness or tingling type of pain, usually due to the neural damage. As the diabetes continue in advanced level or in its worst level, due to the high concentration of glucose in the blood, that itself cause demyelinization of the nerve sheath due to the effect of sorbitol, that causes the demyelinization here. Here you can see these are the myelin sheath. The neurons are well protected with the myelin sheaths. But here, due to the compression or due to the high diabetic level, there is demyelinization. That means damage of the myelin sheath occur. Due to that, our nerves may fail to transmit the signals from one part of the body, or due to the short circuit in between the neurons, then that may cause some burning or tingling. That is the mechanism behind the burning or throbbing or tingling pain and numbness in the legs, etc. In more severe cases, the symptoms includes other than the extremities. That means when the neuronal damage that affects our autonomic nervous system, as you know, the autonomic nervous system is not in our control, and at the same time the autonomic nervous system that control our basic vitals, especially the GIT or the heart or the liver or the kidneys or brain, like that organs. So when the autonomic nervous system is involved, then our diabetic patient will have, other than the extremity neuropathy symptoms. They may produce some symptoms with a GIT or with a problem in bladder. That means incontinence or retention, something like that issue. And there may be some symptoms like that of some cardiovascular. That means um, uncontrolled beating of the heart, etc. may be the PC of our patient. So, even in patient with diabetes, as the age advance and depending on the duration of diabetes with a poor glycemic control, such personalities are with a high risk of diabetes, especially with a diastolic hypertension, with a low HDL level and increased TGL levels. That means in patient with diabetes, those who had a low HDL, high TGL, then diastolic hypertension, etc. are prone to have severe cardiac involvement or cardiac damage. The real mechanism behind the diabetic neuropathy is as and when the high concentration of glucose, when it enters in the cells, the glucose molecules partially get metabolized into sorbitol, and along with triglyceridemia that causes neurovascular damages, because the excess sorbitol leads to problem with the cell metabolism and it could contribute the nerve damage in this way. So the sorbitol is considered as the main villain or main culprit behind the diabetic neuropathy. Due to the high lipidemia, due to high atherogenicity, due to high calcification or platelet aggregation, etc. leads to neural ischemia or reduced neural blood flow are the main reasons behind the or main pathogenesis of diabetic neuropathy. So we have to study the diabetic neuropathy in very detail. That is why diabetic neuropathy is basically classified into mainly with a peripheral neuropathy. In peripheral neuropathy, the common symptoms are pain, numbness and tingling, then sensation of pins and needles, etc. can be seen. Next, about the autonomic neuropathy. Autonomic neuropathy denotes the involvement of the neural damage, especially with the damage of the vital organs. Then next type is proximal neuropathy. In proximal neuropathy, you can see severe pain or muscle wasting. And finally, in focal neuropathy, it involves the neural damage in specific or isolated areas. So the classification and type of diabetic neuropathy is mainly divided into peripheral neuropathy, then autonomic neuropathy, then proximal neuropathy and focal neuropathy. More than that, the same neuropathy can be classified as sensory neuropathy, motor neuropathy, mononeuropathy, and polyneuropathy. That means depending on the class, depending on the function, depending on the area, the same is categorized or typed into so and so levels. Then when it affects the somatic nervous system, then only we feel the burning sensation in hands and feet, pain in lower limbs, or symptoms like that of arthritis or foot drops can be seen. And when it affects the autonomic nervous system or an autonomic neuropathy, then the PC of our patient may be sudden giddiness or a vertigo, especially when our patient trying to waking from the bed, as in the symptom of our arsenic alb or aconitum. That is due to the postural hypotension. Then when it affects the GIT, the symptom may be dysphagia or constipation, and when it affects the urogenital system, recurrent urinary tract infection, and when it affects the sexual sphere, erectional dysfunction, and when it affects the main vitals like our renal or hepatic system, then dependent edema, and when it affects the brain, loss of consciousness or loss of awareness or a complaint of hypoglycemia. So, depending on the type of nerve affection, the symptoms are varying from person to person. And when it affects the somatic system, as we mentioned earlier, the burning, then pain, then arthritis and foot drops, etc. can be seen. Once more, we can note the peripheral neuropathy. In peripheral neuropathy, there will be sharp pain or cramping pain with a muscle weakness can be seen, with a loss of balance or coordination, and some people experience symptoms more often at night. All these neural complications are aggravation at night. These are the symptoms of peripheral neuropathy. Then regarding the autonomic neuropathy, it is the second most common type of neuropathy in people with diabetes. And in autonomic neuropathy, when it affects the GIT, most of our patients will have some bowel problems, or as the PC may be presented as digestive issues, as indigestion or constipation or diarrhea, etc. And when it affects the sex organ, usually the sexual symptoms may be like that with erectional dysfunctions or dryness of vagina or difficulty in voiding urine or incontinence of urine, etc. may be the symptom of autonomic neuropathy. In proximal neuropathy, it is very rare form of neuropathy, also known as diabetic amyotrophy. That means it is more commonly seen in adults over 50 years with a fairly well-controlled type 2 diabetes, and more often in men. And it usually affects the hips or buttocks or the thighs, and patient may experience sudden and sometimes very severe pain with a muscle weakness, etc. can be seen. And in diabetic amyotrophy, usually it affects the only one side of our body. And in proximal neuropathy, after the onset of symptom, they usually get worse and then eventually begin to improve slowly. And fortunately, most people recover within few years or even without any treatment. So these are the common presentation of focal neuropathy. And next, about the sexual or bladder problem. As we mentioned, erectile dysfunction, vaginal dryness, and difficulty in achieving orgasm and neuropathy in bladder can cause incontinence. Regarding the cardiovascular problem, damage to the nerves that controls your heart rate and blood pressure can make them respond to more slowly. So you may experience a drop in BP and feeling of lightheadedness or dizzy when you stand up after sitting or lying down. That is we mentioned as postural hypotension. These are the common symptom of a patient with a diabetic neuropathy, and the symptoms varying from patient to patient depending on the degree of diabetes and duration of its continuance. Okay, thank you very much.